am going to be showing you right now how to add the stitch that will become the drop stitch in the drop stitch sections of this scarf. So we are going to be, as I'm following along, I'm on row 1 of the instructions to this scarf, and there'll be a link in the comments to the pattern so that you can follow along as well. But what we're essentially doing is we need to create the stitch that will be dropped out in this section. If we don't create a new stitch here, what's going to happen is when we drop the stitch later on, that stitch would unravel all the way down through these sections as well. And so we wouldn't get the look that we're going for here with kind of the ruffle and then the gather together. So how we do that is on this row 1, the pattern is going to tell us that we are going to knit 3 stitches through the back loop and then do a yarn over. So that's exactly what we're going to do. If you've never done a knit through the back loop before, generally when we do a knit stitch, we put our needle through the front loop. The pattern is telling us to go through the back loop. So we're going to insert our needle through the back loop and then wrap the yarn around just as normal, pull that yarn through just as normal, and slide it off. And the pattern tells us to do a knit 3. So I'm going to knit 1, 2, and 3, and each one of those is through the back loop instead of through the front loop. And then we're simply going to do a yarn over. So we're going to wrap the yarn around that right hand needle in the same direction that we would normally wrap to do a stitch. And that's our yarn over. And that stitch is going to be the one that we drop out once we finish the rest of this section. And then the pattern simply tells us to knit 3 through the back loop, just like we just did. Knit 1, 2, and 3, and then do a yarn over. So we are just repeating that all the way to the end. Knit 3, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over. We will have done a total of 9 yarn overs when we get to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are going to become those 9 strands of drop stitches. So we had 30 stitches on our needle at the beginning of this row. We will have 39 stitches at the end of this row because we've added 9 stitches in. And that is how we do that row 1 to begin this drop stitch section.